Are GLP-1s driving the right kind of weight loss? While it's no secret that people are losing a life-changing amount of weight on these medications, it raises a critical question. Are people losing body fat, muscle mass, or a combination of the two? A new body composition study from Omada Health looked at what type of weight was lost among patients taking GLP-1s with and without Omada's strength-focused exercise support. Here's what was found. Compared to controls, Omada members lost twice as much weight and body fat while preserving muscle mass. And equally important, those with exercise support reported greater improvements in mental health, physical functioning, and weight loss confidence. Joining me today are physical therapist Todd Norwood and endocrinologist Dr. Rajiv R to talk through these outcomes and what they mean for GLP-1 care. Welcome, both of you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for the warm welcome.
So I have a few questions for both of you. And Todd, I'll start with you on question number one. If people are losing weight on GLP-1s, why, from a clinical perspective, is the goal to lose body fat versus muscle?
Sure, that's a great question, Crystal. So when you think about body fat, that's associated with the long-term chronic disease risk. So if you think cardiovascular disease, for example, that's associated with excess body fat. When you think about muscle tissue, it has several functions in the body. From a physical therapist standpoint, its role in movement and function are key. Now, it's a little bit simplistic, but without muscles, we can't move. The other part that muscle does is it plays an incredible role in our metabolic health. So if you think about burning energy, muscle's like an incredible furnace that helps us burn energy. So the more muscle mass we have, the more energy we burn at rest, and then the more energy we burn while we're moving. So if we're walking or swimming or lifting weights, whatever it might be, the more muscle mass we have, the more energy we're burning. And then that can help us maintain our body composition over time and maintain our health over time.
Yeah, great points, Todd. Muscle is the major site of post-meal glucose uptake. And so an improvement or increase in muscle mass improves insulin sensitivity and glucose control, all of which are essential in achieving better health.
Yes. Thank you both. And we'll move into question number two here, which is the study looked at general exercise among participants. Does the type of exercise during rapid weight loss make a difference in body composition outcomes?
Yeah, excellent question, Crystal. Absolutely, it does make a difference. Aerobic exercise and resistance training are both essential components of a good exercise program. However, aerobic exercise, while it does help reduce fat and fat mass, does not preserve the type of lean muscle that we need during caloric restriction.
Totally agreed, Rajiv. And I will add something that I've heard so many times in my career, which is when we talk about resistance training, we're talking about lifting weights. And a lot of times I've had patients come to me and say, well, I don't know if I want to lift weights because I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. I don't want to be bulky. And the reality of the matter is that that's not going to happen for most people. Most people that engage in a regular weightlifting program, be it 2 or 3 times a week, they will get the benefits of increasing muscle mass a little bit and having that greater resting metabolic rate. They will also have protective impact on their bone health. And the other piece that I think is important when we talk about the rapid weight loss, whether it's through caloric restriction, bariatric surgery, GLP-1s now, the research I think is fairly clear that it shows if you combine resistance training and an increased protein intake, this is very protective for muscle mass in a caloric restriction state.
Yeah, it's funny, Todd. My patients tell me the same thing, and I tell them that I'm a perfect example that lifting weights twice a week does not make you an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Great point because, I struggle with cardio. I love strength training, but cardio for me is a no-go. And what it sounds like from what I'm hearing both of you is that a combination of cardio and resistance training is really what's important for body composition overall. Now, question number three, which I will pose to both of you again, is the study participants who had consistent exercise support reported better mental health. How do you think exercise played a role in that particular outcome?
Such a great question. And exercise is so potent. We talked about the effects on body composition. We talked on effects of weight loss, and we talked about many, many other effects that exercise has. And the research here is very clear that it can also have a positive impact on mental health. And I think as these individuals are losing weight, they're probably moving better, they're getting some positive feedback, they're exercising more. All these things can be positive. Maybe you've heard of the runner's high, this endorphin release as you exercise that puts you in a good mood. So these things can all impact it. But, Crystal, you mentioned you don't like to do cardio. And again, conversation I've had with many patients is it's really about finding something you enjoy, find something you love to do. And sometimes it's social. Sometimes you like to go out and be in a running club, for example, or a cycling club. Sometimes it's just something you like to go hiking and be out in nature. So at the end of the day, I think for cardio, it's finding the thing that you really love to do. And that makes it so much easier to do it consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that obesity and depression are bidirectionally linked. And what we found is that healthy weight loss and exercise help to reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and are also key to good sleep and improvements in mood.
Great points. Great conversation today, Todd and Rajiv. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us, Crystal. It's great.
Yeah, thanks so much, Crystal.
To our viewers, if you're interested in more of Omada's GLP-1 research, visit us at omadahealth.com/GLP-1s. And if you have more questions about GLP-1s or chronic condition care, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thank you for watching.